It is officially 2020, and in this new decade, we're going to see things more clearly. Get it? Seeing things more clearly. 2020 vision. All right, let's just get into it. What's up, everybody? It's your boy DJ NOY-Z, and today I just want to offer you a little bit of encouragement moving forward through 2020 and offer you some tips and tricks that I've used in the recent years to help me to achieve those New Year's resolutions. So the New Year's upon us, and like so many other years, we all set our New Year's resolutions and we set goals for the year, and we get about 2 weeks into it and then we just kind of just give up for whatever reason. And I want to offer you a little bit of encouragement moving forward, because believe it or not, chances are that you actually did not fail at achieving your resolution. What do I mean? Well, chances are when you set your New Year's resolution, you did not specify exactly what your goals were. A lot of us at the beginning of the year, we make some of the same typical New Year's resolutions. For myself, I have those same ones. Want to lose weight, make more money, get in shape, whatever else that you might want to do. Typical stuff. And, you know, like I said, this is what I want to do this year. But I think that one of the problems that we oftentimes face is not being specific enough in what it is that we want to accomplish, and not creating a plan and of course of action to get to those plans. But as I said earlier, chances are you set this New Year's resolution and you think that, I failed. Every year I set a New Year's resolution, I set goals for the new year, and I fail every single time. But did you really fail? When you don't specify what it is that you want, speak it, write it down, put it into existence out there in the atmosphere. But you have to be very specific in what it is that you want, and simply saying that I want to lose weight or I want to make more money is not going to achieve you the results that you are actually looking for. So, for instance, you might set out and say, I want to lose weight this year. And you go and get a gym membership. You start some type of a diet plan, and you maybe follow it for about 2 months or a month or so, maybe only 2 weeks. And then you give up and you say, this is too hard. I can't do it. I failed again. But did you take the time to really specify how much weight you wanted to lose? Did you specify when you wanted to lose it by? Did you tell yourself, I want to earn this amount of money more than what I made last year? Chances are you probably didn't, which means that you really did not fail at achieving your goals. You never properly set them. So if I say that I want to lose weight for the new year and I don't specify how much weight that I want to lose, if I hit this thing hard for 2 weeks and I lose 2 pounds, guess what? I have officially achieved what I said I was going to do. I said I was going to lose weight. I got a gym membership. I went on a diet and I lost maybe 2 pounds, 10 pounds, and then maybe I gave up, but I didn't fail. I did exactly what I said I was going to do. I said I was going to lose weight, and I did. If you say you're going to make more money this year, and if I were to reach in my pocket right now and gave you $1, guess what? Congratulations. You have officially achieved your goal, and it only took you a day to do it because you didn't specify. You never sat down and said, this is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to do it. And this is how much I'm going to do. And this is when I'm going to have it done by. Okay. So I'll give you an example. I've used this in my own life. Last year, 2018, my wife and I set out to pay off our debt, student loan debt more specifically. We started off the year of 2018 and we said this is something that we're going to do and finally get from underneath all this, these heavy interest rates and all this that come along with student loan debt, right? We had made a plan. We wanted to have our student loans paid off by our anniversary, which is in September. And we did exactly that. We paid off over $35,000 worth of student loans in 1 year. Last year in 2018, well, excuse me, it's 2020 now, so I should say 2 years ago now, right? In 2018, we finally said, you know what, we're going to buckle down. We, used our tax refunds and, I worked more hours and my wife picked up some side jobs. And, as a DJ, I didn't turn down any gigs, any money that I could possibly get. We used it and we put whatever money we had towards the student loans and we got it done. And our anniversary is September 23rd. We finished paying off. I believe we made our last payment on September 15th, right? So it was exactly what we said. We said we were going to pay those debts off before our anniversary, and we did. We beat it by about a week. And here's the other interesting thing. Along the road, we actually hit a few hiccups, as you would expect, right? But we were actually ahead of schedule quite a bit. Okay. We were actually on track to maybe have gotten it done maybe a month or even better. But I had to put a down payment on a new car. I was just really hoping that the car that I had would just last me to the end of the year, and it didn't. So I had to go put a down payment on another car. And I had to buy a new laptop so I can have something that was functioning correctly when I was out DJing weddings. And that set me back a couple of grands plus the down payment on the car and everything else. And we had those hiccups along the route. But even with those hiccups actually ended up putting us back on course to the date that we said. So I definitely encourage you again to be very specific on when you want to accomplish your goals. And put it out there in the atmosphere, write it down. I mean, do a vision board, whatever it is that you have to do, so you can keep your eyes on whatever it is that you wanted to do. Now, for us, we specifically knew that we had $35,000 in debt. So there was no question about how much money we needed, right? Because that number was already determined for us. We knew how much we had to pay off, and we did that. And we did manage to get it done. So there's a lot to be said about, speaking things in existence, writing things down, being visual. The other thing too, when you set goals, it's okay to set big, lofty goals. As a matter of fact, I would always recommend think big. Think big. Most people don't think big enough. People a lot of times overestimate how much they can do in a short amount of time, but underestimate how much they can do in a larger amount of time. So what I would do is just use simple division, whatever your goals are, and think big. Think big on your goals. Maybe you want to buy a new house or whatever else it might be, and you need a certain dollar amount, or you want to lose weight or whatever it is. Think big. And then once you have that number in your head, start to divide that number up into small, edible, bite-sized pieces. That's what my my anatomy teacher in high school used to say that all the time. I'm gonna break this down to you in small, edible, bite-sized pieces. All right. So that's what you got to do. Break it down into small, edible, bite-sized pieces. Right. So you've got your goal. You need to make, or you want to make this I don't know, let's say $100,000 next year, whatever it might be. You have to determine what your own financial goals are, weight loss goals or whatever. And you say, if I look at this and I say, well, I want to make $100,000 this year, how much do I need to make every single month to make that happen? And break that down even further. How much do I need to make that happen? And how much do I need to make in a week? And how much money do I need to earn every single day to make sure by the end of 2020, I have earned that $100,000 that I want to earn this year, or whatever your goals might happen to be. I want to lose weight. Me personally, I got about 40 pounds that I want to lose. And this is great because I intentionally put on a bunch of weight this past year just so I can do this video. Yeah, it was intentional. By the way, what y'all think about this flannel shirt? I just bought this. Anytime I see a flannel shirt, I always think about Friday, the first Friday movie with Ice Cube and Chris Tucker. It's like, always reminds me of like Craig and Debo fighting at the end of the movie. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but this is what I think of every time I see one of these shirts. Anyway, where was I? Goals. Set those larger goals. Set them big, and then divide them up to the smallest denominator possible. You know, so you will know how much you need on a day-to-day basis, so you can set daily goals. And I'll tell you something too. There's something so gratifying when you have those little bitty goals, and you can check off goals as you go. I would honestly recommend writing down your goals, posting them up on the wall, and crossing them out as you do it, because there is something that just feels so great when you are able to cross that out. Or if you're trying to get out of debt, right? Like as we were in 2018. And it feels so good to be able to say, I paid off this bill. Like if you got a credit card bill that's sitting around building up interest and it's only like $100, pay it off. Just pay it off. You know, I mean, like a lot of people are like, well, it's just such a small bill. It's not causing me a lot of harm. Well, if it's such a small bill, just pay it off. Don't keep it lingering around, you know, pay it off if you can. But little things like that, you know, just knock small goals, small bite-sized goals. And as you move along, those goals will, you'll see your list your obstacles starting to move out of your way. And that list is going to start getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And before you know it, you're going to be done. All your obstacles are going to be out of your way. And then you can move on to your next phase. Again, for me, for instance, like I said earlier, I want to lose about 40 pounds. And I want to do it by April. So that means that in the next 4 months, I have to lose 10 pounds every month for the next 4 months. And which means that I'm going to have to lose just a little over 2 pounds a week to achieve that goal. So if you have a lot of weight that you feel like you need to lose, 2 pounds a week, 2 pounds a week. If you do that, you're going to lose over 100 pounds by the end of the year if you do that. So, and it's not, think about that. You probably spent your whole life putting weight on, but you can get rid of it in a year. That's it. I think a lot of us who struggle with weight or whatever else, we overthink the process. We overthink it. It's like, oh man, it's going to be so hard. I've been putting weight on my entire life. I started off as a kid and I just got bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like you spent the whole lifetime getting yourself unhealthy, but you can get yourself back on track within a year. Come on, that should be somewhat encouraging when you think of it like that. What I'm going to do is I have a chart that I'm going to fill in as I go along. It helps to Yeah. At one point in time, once I used a, you know how they do those telethons, and they've got those thermometers, and as people call in to make pledges to the telethon, they like fill in and shade the thermometer until it, yeah, so I've done that with weight loss before, and put it up next to the scale, and it works because it gives you a visual representation of your goals, and you can see them as you complete them. And for those people who are thinking about doing vision boards, one thing that I saw another YouTuber do, and unfortunately I can't think of the guy's name, he only put out like a couple of videos and just stopped tubing for whatever reason. But one thing that he did was he created a vision board. And when he created his vision board, he had a certain car that he wanted to drive. He wanted to buy a Rolex. And this guy, he worked in real estate, so he had a pretty good chance of doing it, right? He was already doing well. He knew he had a plan, but there was a condo or something that he wanted to buy. And what he did was he went to those places. He went to those places, and he went to the car dealership, and he went to the apartment that he wanted to buy, and he went to the Rolex dealer, and he took pictures of himself test driving the car, wearing the Rolex, in the house, in his dream house that he wanted to buy, and took pictures in those. So he had pictures on his vision boards that weren't just random magazine cutouts. These were images of him and his wife in the position that they wanted to be in, and put those up on the vision board. So I think this is a brilliant idea. It's an idea that I might implement myself, whatever goals that I have for the year, go and do it. Like if you want to lose weight, go take some pictures of yourself at the gym, like lifting weights, and put it up on your wall, see yourself doing it, and give yourself a visual representation with you. Put you in your images. All right. So anyway, like I said, I just wanted to offer you a little bit of encouragement. This video went on a lot longer than I wanted it to, so I'm going to have to do some serious editing. But if you got any value out of this, please consider subscribing and hitting the thumbs up button. Share it with someone who might need a little bit of encouragement. But the key thing that I want you to remember is that chances are you did not fail in the past. Chances are is that you didn't spell out what it was specifically that you wanted to do. And when you hit that goal that you set out, you didn't recognize it. Because all you said was that I was going to lose weight, and you did. You lost a pound. You lost a half a pound. You did exactly what you said you were going to do, but you didn't say how much you wanted to do. You didn't say when you wanted to do it by. And these are the small little things like that, breaking your goals down into small pieces, taking a big goal, chopping it up one step at a time to get to your ultimate goal. It's 2020. I love y'all. I wish you all the success in the world, and let's go and get this done. It's our year. It's your year. It's your decade. It's a new decade. It's your decade. All right. Love, peace, hair grease. I'm out.